like in a school. So
Yeah.
I would tell them. I would not hide myself. I love to express my mood, my thinking, my emotions. So they will say, okay, they will use their experience to help me. Like, okay, Annie, if you cannot understand something, you can like to ask teacher more about that, like to
Mm-hmm.
attending student, like to teacher's office hours, blah blah blah. So they will give me many suggestions, and they support me a lot. Like in the weekend, they would bring me to the park or to the Chinatown
Oh,
to like yeah. So actually, this kind of relax. Mm-hmm.
okay.
So my
Yeah.
pressure is kind of low down because of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you've been talking about good stuff and also not really good stuff when it comes to living in the States or in a different country from your hometown. What has been the most difficult thing you've encountered being an international student?
Oh, so this is actually a really good question. So
Thank
the
you.
most the most difficult thing is I'll use the um I would so as an internet because like last year is so special because of the pandemic,
Uh huh.
but yeah, but pandemic so special. I would like take this off because this is like so special. But for me, the second most difficult thing, except the pandemic, is the I think it's a culture shock. So,
Okay.
like, firstly, in my previous school, it is really hard to make friends with non-English. Um, yeah, so I'm really afraid to make friend of them. Like, because I don't know if my English is good. I don't know if I can like understand their speaking. So I'm really afraid of to making friend of them. And
Mm-hmm.
after I transferred to this school, because a lot of international students here, not everyone's English is perfect. So
Okay.
I'm actually think I have the backup, and we're similar. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm more willing to express myself and more willing to make fun of them. Yeah. So
Okay.
so I think language is kind of the most difficult thing.
All
Language.
right. So language. I always have this question. Sometimes there are certain expressions in Spanish I can think of quite rapidly, and when it comes to translating those into English, it's like, okay, what do I do now? I don't really know this word. Do you think, in this case, in your case, Chinese somehow shaped the way you think or not?
You mean sorry, I'm kind of frozen just now. You mean the language difference shift my thinking, my
Aha,
belief or
exactly. Yeah,
something?
yeah. Because I truly believe that depending on the language you are speaking, or you learn, or you are being born um, speaking or listening, so I mean your native language, it's going to shape the way you think and the way you see things and the way you express yourself. Do you think the same? And if so, how has Chinese shaped your brain, and then how did English also shape your brain?
Oh, uh, so Chinese shape my brain as I can. Okay, I didn't think about this question before, so give me two
Yeah.
seconds.
Okay. So I'll give
Uh
you
huh.
an example.
That's a really good question.
I
Uh huh.
I
Yeah.
well I think in Spanish I can elaborate on and in many things even if I don't really know about it. But in my case and in my opinion, if I'm reading something new, it's going to be way easier to understand if I'm learning it in English, because I think that English has a way simpler grammar, way simpler vocabulary than Spanish does. So, for example, this morning I was talking to a friend of mine with Subhasini, shout out to Subhasini, and I mean,
Mhm.
she was explaining to me how in Nepali they have, if I'm not mistaken, three different ways to say you. In Spanish, we do have two different ways depending on the, I don't know, quote unquote importance or age of the person we're talking to. For example, if I'm talking to a friend, for example, if I'm talking to you, I would use tú, which is like you. But if I'm talking to my parents, or if I'm talking
Mhm.
to a teacher, I would use usted, which is like um, higher.
Oh,
You understand?
respect.
Yeah.
Understand. Yeah, like more respectful
Uh
way.
huh. Yeah, and that's
I
how
got
Spanish
that.
has shaped my brain, I guess. What about you?
Ah, got it. For me, so there are a lot of like description. Like if you want to say a Chinese sentence with your like, you will like you may like, add a lot of like description. For
Mm-hmm.
example, add verb, adjective inside, and maybe you would not say the sentence directly. You would say passage too. Like if I want to
Mm-hmm.
borrow something, if you, for example, if I want to borrow money, and I will say, oh, we're friends a lot of time. Like I won't say I want to borrow your money directly, right? Like I will say
Okay.
passage, and yeah, their hidden meaning is in this passage, and you should like get it by yourself. I won't say I want to borrow money directly, but in English, kind of like more directly when you want to say something. So
Mm-hmm.
for China, like like Chinese shape my brain as I'm a more kind of um how to say that, like just like won't like describe my feeling directly. I will
Mm-hmm.
use more words instead of to describe the feeling directly. I mean to
Okay.
say the oh sorry, let me say that again. So
Mm-hmm.
like Chinese shape my brain as I can I just describe the sentence instead of say the sentence. But
Huh.
English shaped me like if you have something you want to say, just say it directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of a change. Yeah, so I became a more direct person like after I came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to
I
say
think the
something, just
same.
say. Yeah. Yes.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So, we went through about the not really good things you've experienced being an international student, which in your case is the language. I haven't had that experience yet, and I really hope I can have the experience because, in my opinion, that will make me someone more independent. I had this opportunity to. So I was in my high school, the first 2 years of high school, or 1.5 year of high school in the city I'm in right now. And then I moved to another city, so I, I changed my high school, I got into another one, and it was difficult.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of hard. Um, of course, it's nothing compared to an international experience, I guess, because we speak the same language. We were like from the same cultures, so I haven't really had the experience. But I'm bringing this up because I wanted to tell you that I felt homesick. I missed my home. This despite of even though I was living in a way bigger city, way more modern city. I mean, and a city that I really love, and I love that city. But I don't know why I felt homesick. How did you manage the homesickness you could feel being an international student?
Okay, so I will for first year I will bring my whole family up. So they're really nice. They
Mm-hmm.
reduce my homesick,
Okay.
and also my homesick like the and like I told you I'm a boarder before, so I'm okay to manage homesick actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but as a boarder in China, it's really different as an international student, like way far away from
Yeah.
China. So for me, if I miss my home, I will actually just FaceTime with them. And yeah, but like sometimes I miss my brother, I just FaceTime with them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like FaceTime is like technology. It's a really, really great thing to
Yeah.
reduce conflict. Yeah, and also, mm, if you have a like friend have same culture background, like kind of my best friend Dorothy, she's
Mm-hmm.
also a Chinese. So sometimes like with her, can reduce my homesick thing. Also, let me think that I think when you're so busy, you don't have time to
Yeah.
to have homesick. Yeah, when you're really busy, yeah. So this is another thing, like to find something like to fulfill yourself. Maybe to socialize, maybe to study, maybe hang out with your friend when you're homesick. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, that's all.
Okay. Okay. I thought
Yeah,
you were going to say something. Um,
yeah.
I was going to tell you something, but I forgot it. And it was a great subject that and topic
It's okay. Take your time.
I wanted to say to talk about. So, we've been talking about homesickness, difficult experiences. What has, I mean, if you had to pick just one experience out of all the things you've lived being an international student, and you had to choose one experience, like this is my best experience ever, what would that be?
That's a good question. I would say the COVID. I
Huh?
would say COVID. The COVID changed me a lot. Even though it is a really bad thing,
Uh-huh.
but it changed me a lot.
So
Like, I would say this
COVID
is my
was the
Huh?
best.
the COVID, the pandemic.
Yeah. The
COVID,
best
the
experience.
COVID-19. No, it is. I don't want to say this is a, but it is kind of double side.
Yeah.
So,
I get it.
are you asking my really best experience or the
Yeah.
experience shaped me, like, or
No.
changed me? Like,
Your best experience.
Uh-huh.
I was quite surprised. Like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
sorry. I was frozen, so I don't
Yeah.
know. So I guess I was frozen.
No,
Okay,
because you had said that one of the most difficult things was COVID, and then you said like one of the best things was COVID, and I was like, oh my god, what?
No. I'm sorry. I was like the best thing changed you most. No.
No.
Okay. I
Uh-huh.
just
Your
understand
best
the
experience.
question.
Yeah.
Can you cut that part?
No, I
Cut
won't.
that-
It's quite funny, guys. I won't cut it. I'll leave it here. So
No.
you're watching this. Nah, just kidding. Of course,
Oh my
I'll cut it. I'll leave it out. Don't worry.
It's okay. It's okay for me. Okay. So as an international student, I would definitely say dancing.
Okay.
So, I have I have a lot of experience in Chinese dance. I have danced Chinese dance for about 16 years. Yeah, 'cause
Oh my
I'm
God.
almost 18 now. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm older than you. And I'm 18 on next January. So yeah, and so I'm dancing about 16 years.
Mhm.
And so as an international student in this school gives me a really good, like, how to say that, like a dancing system in the school. Like,
Okay.
it provides a lot of opportunities to me. We have IB dance course, we have sports dance course. So I'm in the IB dance